Yeah, thank you for joining us. It's still the choice on Equa Television International. In the studio, I still have Joyce Jakada and then Sele Elisha.
My pleasure always.
Yes. I'm happy that we're doing this together, and then we're trying to let people know what is happening. And for your information, so many things are happening out there, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yes, because we told you earlier before we went on break that sorting and then counting is already on in some areas, and right now even the upload of some result already is on, directly from the polling unit, because there's no one that countered that yet, saying that the beavers didn't work. And then some people are already done with their polling unit. As we promised you, we said we will give you a first-hand information as they come. We will update you. I think before we go into the conversation, we would like to link up with our reporter out there.
AC. AAC, we have three. AAC, we have three. ADC, we have two. ADC, we have two.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23,
We just witnessed the counting of the final votes at the polling unit 0112 of Nord Road, just Nord local government area, and the total number of registered voters at this polling unit is 336. However, the accredited voters that came out today to vote was 123. We have a total voter for Labour Party 13 votes, APC 34, the PDP 67, ADC 2, and NNPP 2, giving a total number of 123 votes. As it stands at this moment, the PDP has the highest vote at this polling unit. Okay, I'm here with an agent, and I'd like to know if he was satisfied with the process of the election at his polling unit.
Yeah, I'm satisfied.
So you would say that it was a free and fair election?
It is.
Okay, what about the transmission of the result, as INEC have promised us? Are these results being online, going directly from the beavers to the IREF portal? Have you made sure that that is the process here at your polling unit as an agent?
It is at the moment, but we're trying to see the conclusion of it. And we'll make sure that they would submit it to the RS.
All right, thank you very much for your time.
Labor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Labour, we have 13.
13.
APC.
Let me count. APC, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 4, 5.
At the Abattoir Market Polling Unit 014, counting is still ongoing. However, the results as it stands still at the moment for the governorship election is APC having 60 votes, PDP 233, Labour Party having 24 votes, NRM 2 votes. The number of invalid votes are 6 and ADC is having 1 vote. Back to you at the stage.
PDP. Valid. PDP. Valid. PDP. Valid.
Okay, the problem I'm having here is about this polling unit. In the morning, when the INEC come, they were supposed to bring the complete ballot paper. So the ballot paper they were supposed to bring 682, and they brought 500. They remain 200 and they remain 182. They did not bring it, and it shows us that something is wrong somewhere, and we bring out the complaint, and they assure us that we should start the voting. Starting the voting, they will bring the remain 182, which we have not seen the 182. Till the end now, we are counting without the 182. Where is the remaining 182? That is our problem. That is our problem. So our problem is here. We don't want a situation whereby the 182 is not here. After finishing the counting, they will go and give us different result. The 82 they have added somewhere. So that is our fear. So that is why I'm bringing it out. The whole world to know this is what is happening in this polling unit 022. That is what.
So we've heard the situation report at this polling unit, Plateau Hospital polling unit number 022. We have an agent here with us, and we would like to hear from him what has conspired since morning up to this hour of the day.
So my name is Anas Haruna Mohammed, and I'm an agent here representing NNPP, New Nigerian People's Party. So far so good. We started our election peacefully, and there is not any problem here, except for some people who maybe like thugs who try to stop the election, and the security personnel has done their work by stopping them from coming near the polling units. And we thank God everything is successful. We are done with our election.
All right, what about the situation concerning INEC coming with incomplete ballot papers, and did they go and get it back, or how did the election process? Because I want to believe that that was the report we have previously. What happened with that process?
Yes, earlier the INEC official came with 500 ballot papers instead of 682. But some of the higher official of the INEC came here and called all the agents that if we did not see anything, if we see anything that is not right, we should explain to them. And we came and we sit down, we made an accord to sign on, we are voting on that 500 ballot papers. Nobody is bringing any ballot paper till every agent sign that the 500 ballot papers are the ones that we are going to vote with them. And up to now, we finished the election without even exhausting the 500 ballot papers. So all the agents we agreed on, we are signing on 500 ballot papers that was brought to this polling units. That's Plateau Hospital 022. And we agreed on that. Even the higher officials of the INEC, they have addressed us on if we see if the ballot papers are not complete, or if we exceed the 500 ballot papers, they are bringing more, but we can't even exceed half of it. So that is why we are okay. We are satisfied with the 500 ballot papers. So we don't need any ballot papers here. In as far as all the agents are concerned, we don't need any ballot paper again here.
All right, thank you very much. And so if I want to understand this clearly, was the agreement you as the agents, every other agent had with INEC, was you sign a peace agreement or accord that you will go on with the 500, but unless you exhaust the 500, then they will bring the remaining. However, you are saying that till the end of the election, you didn't exhaust the 500 ballot paper made available by INEC, so there was no need for INEC to bring the remaining.
Yes, that is what we agreed. We agreed that we made a peace accord, all the agents. We have about 6 agents here representing various political parties, and we have already agreed on those 500 ballot papers. So we finished our election without exhausting the 500. So that is why we agreed. Every agent will sign on those 500, and we are going to cancel the remaining, and it should be returned to INEC. So that we don't need any other ballot paper here.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
The remaining ballot papers of 182 ballot papers, they are with INEC. And with
my name is Farida GL. This is my polling unit, Plateau Hospital. When we came, before we start the election, we checked the materials. Everything was complete except the ballot papers. We're supposed to have 682 ballot papers. They brought 500 for us. Then we say we are not starting election until they bring the remaining 182. Then we refuse. We are talking. Then one of them, I think, called the Oga or somewhere. Then she now come. She said, fine. How many ballot papers they brought for us? We say 500. Then she said, fine, let's start the election. Then they will bring the remaining one. But let's have in mind that it is 500 that is here for now. Before we finish the election, the remaining 182 will be brought to us. So when we finish, we now keep calm. We did our election, everything went on fine. Then after the election, before we start counting, we now ask the INEC official, this one here, we say, it was a gentleman agreement. You people say you are bringing the remaining 182. So where is the 182 now? They have not brought the 182. That we should finish counting first. That they are going to sign. We said, when we finish counting, we will count the one remaining, we will cancel it. Then you people will write down the 182, if it is in your office or is with somebody, because we want to know. And up to now, they have not bring the 182. So we don't know where the 182 has disappeared to. So the INEC officer, the madam that came and said she would bring it to us, she did not come. She didn't show up again. She left us with this one, and they have nothing to tell us about the 182.
Okay, so we have heard about the situation report here, where electorate voters are saying that they had incomplete ballot papers being brought to this polling unit. 500 ballot papers were brought instead of 682 ballot papers. However, till the end of this election, they have waited upon INEC to bring in the remaining 182 ballot papers that were not completed at the start of the election. So what do you have to say? How did it go on, and what is the situation currently concerning the ballot paper that was expected of you to bring to this polling unit and at this moment haven't arrived yet?
First of all, my name is Gideon Jibril, APO1 of this very polling unit. When we came, we told them about the number of ballot papers that were given to us. And they now raised this very issue that they are now shouting about. And then we acted immediately because we called our superiors. We told them that this is the problem on ground. When they came, they called us separately. They spoke to us. And they now called the agents separately again. And they now spoke to them and explained things to them. And this is just the summary of what they said. They told them that in the previous election, with this very number of registered voters that we have in this polling unit, 682, 700 ballot papers were given. We only used 292 ballot papers. So INEC on its own now say, okay, if they gave us 700 and we ended up using only 292, so they now gave 500, believing that we cannot even exhaust the 500, which was part of their ensuring that this thing is settled. And they now told them that, no problem, let's continue using the 500. As soon as we exhaust the 500 ballot papers, immediately they will bring for those that are still on the queue to cast their votes. And then the agents agreed to that, and then we started the voting. So at the end of the voting, now the voters are still arguing that they did not agree with the agreement between the agents and INEC. So I believe that is the bone of contention in this very place. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are at a Plateau Hospital polling unit number 022. And it appears that there is a situation here that is bothering the voters and also INEC. The situation on ground is that at this polling unit, there are 682 registered voters. However, INEC arrived for election today with 500 ballot papers. Now, voters demanded that voting will not start unless INEC go back and bring back the 182 ballot papers. However, they said there was an agreement between the agents and INEC that they can start the voting with the 500 ballot. A superior from INEC came and made an agreement with the agents that they can start with 500 ballot papers. If they exhaust those 500 ballot papers, INEC assures them that they would bring the 182 remaining ballot papers to be continued. However, the situation is that yes, that 500 ballot papers were not exhausted, but the concern of the voters at this polling unit is that the 182 ballot papers are not safe because they don't know what INEC will do with it. Also, they might have access to the remaining ballot papers here that were not exhausted, and it could be cancelled. But what about the 182 ballot papers that INEC refused to bring? In INEC defense, they are saying that they had an agreement and the agents agreed that it was okay for that to go on, and they are assuring the voters here and the public hearing this news at this moment that INEC cannot do anything with their remaining ballot paper, that they cannot rig the election in any way, that the remaining ballot paper is safe and nothing will be done with it because agents will be there and collation officers will be there to make sure that nothing is being done. However, there are still question marks regarding this because for some reason INEC have no reason to bring incomplete ballot papers to a polling unit regardless of the outturn of the voters at the polling unit. Back to you at the station, and what do you think about this situation?
Well, thank you, Sanze, for that report. Yes. You know, before we went on break, we were talking about citizens agreeing collectively, owning up to responsibility, you know, and then before now we talk about civic education, like people should know what is obtainable of them, what's enshrined in the Constitution for them to do. And I wonder why INEC, you know that is 682 people in a polling unit, and you bring materials that are less. Even though we had issues last election whereby a stamp is been forgotten. Like you hear, he said, one of them said, last time they brought over 700. Why will INEC bring a material, ballot paper that is over the number that is being registered in that particular polling unit? So, you know, there are certain things that are happening which people will just sit down and said something is wrong, even if something is not wrong. I just feel these are some of the things that we are not supposed to be hearing. And you see...
Sorry to cut you on that. Like before now we spoke about that issue, that everybody should go out and vote. But already it's obvious that they had preempted that people will not turn out. And that is why they came with less ballot people. That's just one case, one out of many. So imagine that there are 680 and just 500. Where are the 180? Ideally, there's a law concerning all those usage of ballot paper. If at the end of the day you have about 680 registered voters in that place, perhaps the registered voters there are actually about 700. But those that have their PVC, that have collected their PVC, are 680. So if you're coming there, you come with the same, like the number of ballot paper that is going to take all this, the people, the voters that are there, not less than that. Because at the end of the day, what happens to the ballot papers that are left, if out of 680, only 500, for example, turn out and vote, the 180, what happens to it going by law? They cancel it, they draw a line, right? Just to show that, yes, these people have not... but right now, the bone of contention is the fact that that 180 is not even there. So people will begin to ask questions of what happens to that particular ballot papers, the number of ballot papers. Oh, could it be that, some people somewhere will be printing on it and all of that? And I think that's the question in the minds of many people. When from looking at the guy, he was looking already angered, but he was trying to control himself. If 680 people that are registered in that polling unit disregarded their emotions and still turn out to vote, is it possible that at the end of the day, the INEC will tell them that, the ballot papers are finished, so the remaining 180 should go home? That won't happen. But because voter apathy was already preempted, people were made to feel angered and not to turn out, so that whatever form of manipulation that might, in quote, happen can go on swiftly. That's why we kept emphasizing, you go out, exercise your own franchise, do your own civic responsibility, even if at the end irregularities, we can resort to court. But the thing is that, yes, we are not saying that, the court must decide at the end of the day. We can all come out, do our own civic responsibilities, ensure that our votes count. We've learned lessons from the presidential election, ensure that the votes is also uploaded on the IREF. Then that way you can comfortably go home. If at any point there's any irregularity, you can actually say, yes, the process was faulty because I was there, I participated, I know what happened. If you check the presidential election, that was the cases. All the voices we hear because people turned out, they were there and they saw everything. But think about it, you are not there, you did not participate. Now imagine your own ballot paper that you're supposed to sign is not there because you did not turn out. You get? So that's why we always emphasize on the fact that, yes, you can't, the people that helped us to gain this democracy that we're having, some of them lost their lives in the process. Like, that is why today we are a democratic nation, to ensure that things happen. So in your own time, what are you doing to ensure? I'm not saying you have to die for the process, no. But what are you doing to ensure that we get it right? Those other nations that got it right they did not wake up to it. There are hurdles. There are hurdles to development. And yes, one of it might be what you experienced during the presidential election. I've had a youth leader saying, I will not vote, and I will encourage all my other followers not to vote. No, we can't get the change by doing that. So we need to all participate in the process. Where we've been calling the attention of INEC to some of this situation. The needful must be done. I don't know what kind of agreement that party agents will go and sign together at that point. I don't know. On
behalf of electorate.
On behalf of the electorate. I saw a post on social media that the person was saying, I'm currently at my polling unit trying to deliver it for my party. I said, wow. So it is you that will deliver it for your party, not about the electorate voting for who they want to represent them. I think we need to do the needful in fixing the system so that people will have confidence in it. Obviously, it is because of the lack of confidence in the system. That is why you see Nigerians saying, no, you must bring that 180. You must bring that 180.
It's really, really sad, looking at what just happened in that polling unit. And just like Joyce said, this is just one out of the many other, polling units where we see things are not going as expected to be, having the number of ballot paper that are supposed to be there being under, and that is where we have issues of over voting or under voting. And then it's really sad, just like Joyce said, where we see that party agents actually signing on behalf of electorates. The electorate automatically, what this implies is that they don't even have a say. Whatever these party agents have said is what will stand, regardless of whether you're there or not. And just like we said, already they have envisioned that there's going to be a voter apathy. No wonder they give them just 500 ballot papers, knowing the fact that they are over like 700 because making a comparison to what happened during the presidential election, that they had to take some ballot papers, and even saying that at the end of the day they didn't even consume the 500. So what about that?
Yes.
It's really annoying. If they did not consume that, then just by law you're supposed to strike it out to show that this number of people did not show. And you remember during the presidential election we made reference to the fact that sometimes we see the number of accredited voters and then the people that turn out not tiring. When last did INEC actually clean their register? Because sometimes some of these voters, either some are actually late or some cannot make it to the polling unit. There are so many reasons that can be behind all of this. And so I just hope that INEC will be able to address the issue of that. Just like we said, this is one out of many other polling units that are having issue. And I hope that INEC will be able to rectify the issue at that polling unit, because of course the people are actually feeling that they have been marginalized. The people over there are feeling like something somewhere is fishy, and that is just what it implies. So I hope that they get to the root cause of this problem, and then all of this issue will be rectified at the end of the day.
Yeah, I would say kudos to all the electorate at that polling unit, Plateau State Hospital, polling unit 022, while where we took that report, and we are hoping that the INEC officials are watching, because it's something that you need to act swiftly, because you never can tell. This thing can just spread, because you have agents that are there, and you have individuals that they have their own integrity that they are protecting, so that something different will not be spread there, and then before you know it, it will undermine all that you have put in place. Because if you ask me that someone came and then from the INEC, because like what the agent say, he said a superior, from INEC came, and you ask, who is that person? Do you ask the identity of the person? What position is he holding? Why is he giving you that assurance? The first place, you have guidelines. What's the guideline saying? What's the Electoral Act saying? Does it say that because the presidential election, we brought 700 and you didn't exhaust it, so this time around we will reduce it? Is that what the law says? Nigerians should know their responsibility. Nigerians know their right. It's just that sometimes we take things for granted and we allow let's give them room. Let's give them room. And before you know it, they are just taking more space than necessary. And because they feel you are just quiet, it's just that you don't know what you are doing. No, it's not because we don't know what we are doing. Nigerians know exactly what they are doing. I think it's the right time for us to start speaking and to start acting. Like earlier I was saying, you can't just sit and say you are praying so that the good candidate will come. When counting, are we going to count prayers? The answer is no. Because you that is praying, you are expected to come out to vote, so that when voting, they will count your vote. Then plus your prayers, anywhere that there's any manipulation, then God will intervene and expose them. You understand? I think INEC should do something. And I will say, for other polling units, know what is required of the staff. Know what is required of you as a citizen. Know what you are supposed to do. I think this will help our will help the process. It will help a process. It will go a long way. And I can't just figure it out that somebody will say, the question that I even asked, I said, okay, if you know that 682 are the people that are supposed to vote in a particular unit, why bring in excess ballot paper? Number one, you have indicted yourself. Why? If you know that 682 are supposed to vote, why are you bringing 500? You have indicted yourself. So people can hold you by that, because by law, that's not what is obtainable. Okay, the remaining, for instance, if 200 people voted, we're having extra 300. And those 300 are supposed to be cancelled. So if we cancel this before us, then what happened to the 118 and 182? That's the question. This is the question that people are asking, and I think they deserve an answer.
They do.
They do, because one vote can just change the narrative. One vote can change the narrative. So are we trying to say, is the INEC, are they going to destroy? Now you don't even know where it is. Yes, that's their concern. They don't even know where it is. So I think it's high time for INEC to really step up and then try to clean up all of these things.
And I hope that more people will speak out, because with issues like this, when you're quiet, you're giving room for more manipulation to take place. So I just hope that for any other polling unit that this same thing is happening, people should speak out. That will actually make the commission or people who are responsible for this to, take up responsibility. Because the more, Nigerians are quiet, the more you give room for, things like this irregularity. And we're giving, INEC the fact that this is a time where you right your wrongs right, and then we are seeing things like this coming up. I'm really disappointed, because and I just hope that something proper will be done. Just like I said, whoever that superior is, I just hope we'll get the identity of that superior, and then they'll be able to follow up the due process to see what really went wrong. Just like you say, the 182. We don't even know where the ballot papers are. These are the concerns of, the electorate in that polling unit. Is it with INEC? They don't know. Is it somebody somewhere on printing? They don't know. So it's better you bring it, be transparent, because this is the way you give room to Nigerians. And then no wonder people are saying that they have lost confidence in INEC. And, even looking at the Labour Party candidate, say he has lost confidence in INEC. The PDP presidential candidate say he has lost hope in INEC. And these are maybe some of the concerns Nigerians are having. So I'm just hoping that let's get to that point that we don't lose, the hope in the commission, because it's important that when Nigerians have trust you with the responsibility, do the right thing at the right way. Somebody somewhere is sleeping on his responsibility, and no wonder people keep pointing finger at the chairman. Because yes, of course, he's over there and he was disappointed at some of the, state, and we should be able to do something. But when they don't do what is expected, of course, people point finger at him, because it will be expected that after the presidential election, there was a round table. Let's go back and look at where did we get it wrong? How can we right our wrongs right? How can we do things the right way? So I'm just hoping that, yes, there's emotions coming up, but then let's just, direct our emotions in the right way. And that is why I'm calling on INEC to please address the situation. We don't want to play a situation where it will escalate and then something will go wrong at the end of the day. Because if they should decide to take the law into their hands, it won't be funny. At the end of the day, we'll hear that the election was cancelled in that polling unit, and that won't be the right way. In as much as we are calling Nigerians to be peaceful, we are calling on them to remain calm, we are hoping that INEC should please rectify that issue in that polling unit. Because just like we said, there might be other polling units we are not aware of. This is the one that have been brought to the spotlight. So we hope that the right thing will be done at that polling unit, so that even after 4 years, Nigerians can say, yes, I want to be a patriotic citizen, to do the right thing. At the end of the day, we don't have situation of people saying, I want to japa. The last time we had, we had a guest here that said, if you japa, you japa that at the end of the day. You will still come back. So I'm hoping that let's not have a situation that will give room to doubt, mistrust in the commission, because this is a question of integrity. This is a question of character. This is a question of credibility at the end of the day. And just like I said, it's not about the candidates anymore. Nigerians, commission, are we credible enough? Can people trust us with responsibility next time? So I'm hoping that whatever situation is there, please, they should rectify it and actually check to the root cause of the problem there.
Election, if you ask me, I'll tell you, well, it's too late because elections were conducted and then it was done. But like I always maintain, how do you expect them to trust the process when already we are seeing irregularities such as this? For me, if you ask me, the deed has been done in that polling unit, but I think the results of that particular polling unit need to be followed. So at the end of the day, we don't hear that, oh, from polling unit so and so. By the time you compile all the results for different parties, you see that it's over the 500. That way, there's irregularity. You get, so I think at this moment, people that Nigerians entirely, coalitions are going to be done at state level, at local government level, ward level, to the state level. So people should follow up with results. Know your polling units, know what was counted there. Then when we go there, when you go to the at the coalition center, you defend your result. And then if they continue with the coalition, like we saw in the presidential election, we have, if you have your facts recorded and kept, then can tell the part of the courts to actually appeal there, so or tribunal and all of that. And while we talk about collation and counting, which obviously cut across different countries. This was just a situation in one of the polling units in under Just North, and in Plateau State, and in cut across 28 states. Like we said earlier on, election is ongoing, and in the 36 states of the country, election is going in for State House of Assembly. But the 28 states is for the governorship election. Some of the states, they have conducted their elections earlier, one court case or the other, why we are not doing it together. So while reactions continue to trail due to following the Saturday election, the election today, we are seeing Rotimi Amici slamming INEC, saying that that is just complete failure of governance, that the whole issue of intimidation, insecurity, cancellation of election in some of the polling units, it's complete failure of governance. And he says slamming INEC, and as well as the police. Also, we are having one person was burnt down in Katsina. That he tried to disrupt the elections there, and he was burnt down. Well, they said bandits. One burnt down as bandits allegedly attempt to disrupt the election in Katsina. Okay, well, it was bandits that were trying to disrupt. So one person has been burnt down. That's a sad one, though. And for Vice President of Nigeria, Yemi Osinbajo, after casting his vote, he said it was peaceful. At his polling unit, probably. And President Buhari, earlier on, after casting his own vote, he said, well, vote your conscience, but you can pocket politicians' money. That was funny, though. And it sounded like what most people refer to as our money now, where they give you the money, pocket it. But how many people actually do that? We see how that people collect and then they go and vote what they collected.
If to say he's contesting again for second term, would he say that?
Well, I don't know, but well, that's the message.
No, well, it's just a question out there, you know, for Nigerians to digest. You know.
And there are a lot of attacks actually recorded during this in the course of this election, and one of it is EFCC operative in Kaduna. They actually attack injured by alleged vote buyers, and you know that one of the responsibility of the EFCC, this is one of the elections that will record the presence of EFCC across states, and it is to avert the issue of vote buying, inducement, and all of that. And well, unfortunately, the operatives were attacked, injured by some of the alleged vote buyers. And well, earlier we talked about postponements amongst other in markets in Borno, specifically Gamboru, was like gutted with fire. Well, we'll find out all these details much later, but well, as information, as we await details of results as they come and as we give them to you, we hope to continue to bring all the unfolding happenings. But what is more important? What is more important is for us to remain peaceful in all of this, and for the security personnel to always be prompt and intervene, so that at the end of the day, I just don't like it when I see reactive measures, especially when we have ample of time to prepare for something, then only for you to just wake up the day that execution is expected of you, then you start reacting after the deed has been done. All the attacks that was experienced in Lagos and other states, Kano, Bayelsa, burning down of electoral materials, were so uncalled for. Even the election that was cancelled or postponed in GVC estate in Lagos, where you have over 5,000 electorate postponed till tomorrow, for me, it's still uncalled for, because we had ample of time to prepare for all of this. If the officials are saying, oh, it is because we were held hostage after the presidential election, what was the plan after the presidential election? Nothing was done, only for people to come presidential governorship election and telling them, no, we cannot enter inside, you come out. They too, they are not feeling safe. INEC is saying, so I don't know what the plan is for the tomorrow that they are saying. We've had cases where people were told, go home, come back tomorrow morning, only for them to go home and they had announcement of result from their polling unit. Apparently they were disenfranchised. So I don't think that is the case that Nigerians will want to hear.
When you ask the question that, okay, you want to say?
No.
Okay, when you ask the question that what are they doing, you know, I will tell you that they are busy trying to configure beavers. You know, maybe
that was the only thing they needed the time for.
Because I think these are some of the things that you notice there are issues. You understand? Security is the number one thing, because when you talk about security, we had Mahmoud saying that election, voting and voting and sorting was over. Now he's calling for IGP to reinforce, you know, the security, because collation is going to start. And I asked myself, okay, is now that collation is about to start? That's when you are calling of more security. There's a way you think and you put this together. So with what happened, people will start asking, okay, is it that this is what you are planning, what you gave us, that is why you made that call before the collation? People ask that question, and some of these things, they are logical. Sometimes you say things and you don't really chew whatever decision to see really the outcome, because people were like, okay, that's the reason why he was asking for IGP to reinforce security, because he knows that so many things will go wrong. And you can't give okay, now you are saying some of the polling units will hold their election tomorrow. What guarantee do the electorate have, you know, for their life? What guarantee? Because Lagos, for now, we shouldn't be hearing such reports from Lagos at all. Because you know those red spots, you know. So you are expected to strategize, whether mobile police or military men, you strategize them there. Wherever these people will feel they are secure, at least they can come out, because they feel there are people out there that they can respond quickly to whatever may be a reason why they will be disenfranchised. We didn't see that.
True.
You understand? Even during the presidential election, where you see attack and people ask, why are they giving those phone numbers, those hotlines for people to call? Because we didn't see that rapid response coming, you know, protecting people and then making sure people voted. Just for a few cases, like the issue of the Choma, that she made that video. Imagine she didn't put that video and it was live on Facebook, and people feel, yes, this is not a doctored video, because at the end of the day, even as she record and then she just said, people will just tell you that is a doctored video. But she insisted, she persisted, she keep talking online, and people know that it's live, and that's why they responded. But look at it, even today she was attacked. Her car was destroyed simply because she wanted to just go and exercise her right in her country. No, it's unacceptable.
We shouldn't be hearing of such.
It's unacceptable.
Of course, Sudo, because when we keep saying that Nigerians have made history, or history has been made, what kind of history did we make? Are we talking about positive history, Joyce? Or are we talking about negative history, Sambo? At a time like this, Nigeria is supposed to be at a point where, just like you were saying, when you go to, you know, to the polling unit, you should be going with so much joy and happiness, knowing that your life is secured, everything is going well. And we have all that it takes to do that, Sambo. But just like I said, it seems somebody somewhere is sleeping on his or her responsibility. Because if we are not having all of these loopholes, you know, surfacing here and there, we should be able to rectify whatever issue it is. Are we talking about security agency? We should be able to have prompt actions coming from the security agency. Are we talking about INEC? With the time that they needed, they should be able to address all. Are we saying that the time they needed was just to reconfigure the beavers? Of course not. So I'm hoping that we'll not just keep having excuses or upon excuses, giving room to, you know, some carelessness. Because, permit me, that's the word I will use. Because we'll see some carelessness in some other form. Because if we are very deliberate, Sam, we will not be seeing all of this thing. So I'm just hoping that this should be an eye-opener. Just like you said, for the elections that will be holding tomorrow, I hope that all measures have been put in place, that they talking about the ICOC staff, they will be safe. Even for the electorate, they will be safe. Everything will work out well. That is to show that we are learning from our previous mistakes, that we are making, you know, history in a positive way, not in a negative way.
I agree with you.
Well, let's remain calm, let's remain peaceful. No politician is worth the life of any Nigeria. And when we resort to violence, it's like taking ourselves 10 years backward. And even as we've exercised, for many that have gone out to do that, let's just remain calm while we await for the result of the election. Let's just avoid unnecessary arguments. Peace is the watchword.
Peace is the watchword. Let's avoid unnecessary argument and just remain calm. But let's insist on our right. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
And makes it fulfilled with messages of hope and salvation.
Sin and the devil, they always work hand in hand together.
Christ too and the ministry of the Lord also will be promoted.
This aspect of David's experience we read in our passage of consideration brings this situation very near to ours.
He's majestic in holiness. Praise the Lord.
A combination of green and white, fertility and peace we are blessed, a work in progress, giant of Africa we are. We wouldn't bow down to hate and killing. We might be pressed but never crushed. We will be armed with strength to conquer. We praise our way to fame and Nigeria, I the eagle's wing. Nigeria, I believe in you. Our father's never would go in vain. We're standing stronger, both the sun. In God we trust, all help has come. Of the sky, we will rise. Let us shine. Oh Lord, there's a strength in our name. Great Nigeria, we would fail. We prevail. On the sky, we will rise. Let us shine. There's a strength in our name. We will fail. We'll prevail. On the sky, we will rise. Bright as no eagle shine. Our light. There's a strength in our name. We will fail. We prevail. We're standing strong above the storms. In God we trust, our help has come. Nigeria, I believe in you. Our fathers labor won't go in vain. We're standing stronger above the storms. In God we trust, our help has come.
Kiki tonight on the beat.
Everybody celebrate the greatness of Nigeria. This is a song of freedom. This is a song of hope for Nigeria. Let's go.
Peace is what we need. Is what we need for our fatherland to live in harmony. Till we become as one. Peace is what we need. Is what we need for our fatherland to live in harmony. Till we become as one. Time after time, we will pray for the peace of our nation. Day after day, we will live in hope for a new Nigeria. Time after time, we will pray for the peace of our nation. Day after day, we will live in hope for a new Nigeria. Through the pain and struggle, through the chains and shackles, all we see is a breakaway to the peace and hope that we longed for. Through the pain and struggle, through the chains and shackles, all we see is a breakaway to the peace and hope that we longed for.
One of Equa Television's purpose of being alive is to fulfill the Equa Executive's 4-point agenda of connecting Equa to God, Equa to Equa, Equa to the world, and mobilizing resources for the advancement of the gospel through evangelism, missions, and the kingdom's work, generally through Equa. Equa Television International is live 247, preaching the gospel of salvation and truth to the world. Pray for Equa TV, support Equa TV, be part of Equa TV. Keep watching Equa Television International, the winning station. Equa TV International keeps you lifted 247. Fixes your day and makes it fulfilled with messages of hope and salvation.
Sin and the devil, they always work hand in hand together.
Christ too and the ministry of the Lord also will be promoted.
This aspect of David's experience we read in our passage of consideration brings this situation very near to ours.
He is majestic in holiness. Praise the Lord.
Groundbreaking shows for every life situation.
Parents don't tell lies because that's always a problem.
But in the north,
Here are news stories making the rounds at this hour. 2023 elections, polling units, results of governorship assembly polls. Lagos, INEC shifts elections in 10 polling units. Governorship election, Lawan votes, boast APC will win 28 states. Federal government reduces weight as Buhari agrees to power devolution bills. Okowa hails INEC, security forces for peaceful atmosphere, and vote buying EFCC naps university lecturer with 306,700 naira. Hours after Nigerians voted for the governorship and houses of assembly elections across the country, results from polling units have started coming in. Governorship elections were held in 28 states, while legislative elections were held in all of Nigeria's 36 states. Millions of registered voters did their accreditation and voting at the over 170,000 polling units across the country. The 28 states where the governorship elections held are Adamawa, Bauchi, Borno, Gombe, Kwara, Lagos, Nasarawa, Ogun, Oyo, Yobe, and Zamfara. Others are Abia, Akwa Ibom, Benue, Cross River, Delta, Ebonyi, Enugu, Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Niger, Plateau, Rivers, Sokoto, and Taraba states. More reports from our correspondent, Bruga Prudence. With the voting process coming to an end in most areas around the country, polling units in Jos, Plateau State has come to a conclusion, and the counting process voters have described as peaceful. Although the process was generally peaceful and calm, a little discord based on misunderstanding was recorded at some polling units around Jos South local government of Jos Plateau State. Let's hear Prudence.
Just behind me is a polling unit, Federal Locust 1008. And we have Mrs. Shama Audu here to tell us a little bit about the situation of this polling unit.
Anyway, in this polling unit, everything was very, very smooth. We have no problem here. everything went on very smoothly. And their accreditation, and even, in fact, we have about 795 registered voters. But I think in the other side, it was 218 that they accredited their own.
Counting, and we are watching and seeing there's no discrepancy yet. We are watching and everything is going on fine.
So do you believe that the process is going to be...
The only issue is that we were told that they are going to transmit, but we are hearing now that there's no transmission. I don't know why it's so. Is there any assurance that counting like this will give us the result? So that's the issue we have now.
These are the complaints of the people at this polling units. They are wondering why their votes are not going to be uploaded. However, they are trusting that everything is going to run smoothly at the end of the day and that their votes will count.
At the federal low-cost 1008 polling unit, there was discord between party agents. However, it was addressed before it escalated to violence. Another polling unit, federal low-cost main gate 052, had finished compiling their votes but were still waiting for the tech person to upload results. However, the party agents on ground said they were pleased with the whole electoral process this time around. At the polling units, Birkin, Asha, 11 and the Girl B polling units, the voters expressed their disappointment that the results could not be uploaded to the INEC official website. Though there were reports of low turnout, there was calm and peace at the polling stations. An electoral process at most of the polling units in the Naraguta B ward of the Just North local government of Plateau State. Also, from our correspondent Rachel Tanze, voting results for governorship election at North Road polling unit 012, Just North local government area. Total number of registered voters 336, accredited voters 123, number of votes for APC 34, Labour Party 13, PDP 67. Abattoir Market Polling Unit 014, results for governorship poll APC 60, PDP 233, Labour Party 24. Abattoir Road Polling Unit 031, results for governorship poll APC 49, PDP 179, Labour Party 41, results for State House of Assembly APC 49, PDP 179, Labour Party 41. Total registered voters 750, accredited voters 270, no invalid vote recorded at this polling unit. At Plateau State Hospital polling unit 022, a situation of incomplete ballot papers came to surface by voters in the polling unit. INEC arrived with 500 ballot paper rather than 682 ballot papers for the complete number of registered voters. Voting has ended and votes have been counted at this polling unit, but the voters are still not happy about INEC coming with incomplete ballot papers. Rachel Tanze has more details on this.
We are at a Plateau Hospital polling unit number 022, and it appears that there is a situation here that is bothering the voters and also INEC. The situation on ground is that at this polling unit, there are 682 registered voters. However, INEC arrived for election today with 500 ballot papers. Now, voters demanded that voting will not start unless INEC go back and bring back the 182 ballot papers. However, they said there was an agreement between the agents and INEC that they can start the voting with the 500 ballot. A superior from INEC came and made an agreement. insisting with their remaining ballot papers that they cannot rig the election in any way, that the remaining ballot paper is safe and nothing will be done with it, because agents will be there and collation officers will be there to make sure that nothing is being done. However, there are still question marks regarding this, because for some reason INEC have no reason to bring incomplete ballot papers to a polling unit, regardless of the outturn of the voters at the polling unit. Back to you at the station.
Totally, voter apathy is the major problem surrounding the governorship and state assemblies polls that took place today. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has postponed Saturday's governorship and state assembly elections in 10 polling units in the Victoria Garden City VJC around the Lekki area of the state. INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner Segun Agbaje made the announcement when he addressed reporters at the VJC. According to him, the decision was taken after core members deployed as ad hoc staff on Saturday were hesitant to enter the VJC estate due to security concerns. Agbaje stated that the ad hoc staff has set up voting materials in front of the estate on Saturday, but the estate residents claim that hoodlums might disrupt the process. As a result, the residents did not feel secure and could not cast their vote. He said the situation was difficult for security agents to contain, hence he and his team had to come to the area. We have 8 polling units here with 6,024 registered voters, and out of which 5,624 people have their PVCs, he stated, adding that 2 other polling units at the estate's main gates were also affected, 8 here in the estate and 2 outside, he noted. After due consultation and further directive from the national headquarters that we should remobilize here tomorrow, Sunday morning by 8:30 a.m. to conduct the elections, by 8:30 a.m. tomorrow, we will reconvene here. Agbaje said the chairman of the security committee of the estate had assured the commission of the safety of core members and INEC staff as well as the safety of voters. Some of the affected polling units include polling units 032, 033, 112 and 124. Now, Ahmed Lawan, Senate President, after casting his vote on Saturday, said his party, the ruling All Progressives Congress APC, will win not less than 28 states. Lawan made the statement according to reports at the Katuzu War polling unit in Bade local government area of Yobe State, where he cast his vote during the governorship and State House of Assembly elections. The APC currently controls 21 of the 36 states and had an outright win in 12 states during the last presidential vote. Lawan said the APC and the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, as well as the 9th National Assembly, deserve some credit for the improvement witnessed in the country's electoral process. Lawan said, and I quote, "We are in control of the National Assembly. We have won the presidency. We are going to win nothing less than 28 states at the end of this election." The APC and the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari deserve credit that we have allowed the process to be entirely determined by the guidelines and regulations of INEC, that we don't use our incumbency factor to stop other political parties or opposition from winning in areas that are strong APC enclave, he said. He added that the 9th National Assembly also deserves credit for passing a law that has made the process of our elections even better. I think there is still room for improvement, but kudos to the 9th National Assembly for producing an electoral act that is giving more rules to technology to decide and influence the outcome of our elections rather than some kind of fraud. Commenting on the electoral process, the Senate President said he was happy that the BVAS is working here. "I'm yet to hear any reports about the failure of the process anywhere in my local government so far," he added. The President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, has signed into law 16 bills seeking to amend various parts of the 1999 Constitution. The Joint Senate and House of Representatives Special Ad Hoc Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution made this known on Friday. According to the information from the Office of the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Ahmed Wase, who is the co-chairman of the committee, the bills assented to by the President included those devolving powers from the federal government to the states, as some items were moved from the exclusive legislative list to the concurrent list in the Constitution. Many lawyers and analysts have argued for years that the exclusive legislative list, comprising matters which only the federal government could legislate on, was too heavy and that it needed to devolve power to the states. The power devolution bills that pass legislative requirements include those on power railway, airports and prisons, as well as the biometric and criminal records. While the president signed the bill seeking to grant state legislature and judiciary autonomy, majority of the state houses of assembly oppose independence for local government. The National Assembly in January transmitted 35 constitution alteration bills passed by the State House of Assembly out of the 44 bills sent to the states. To amend a clause in the Constitution, 2/3 or 4/5 majority of each of the Senate and the House need to approve the amendment, after which it will be transmitted to the State Houses of Assembly, where 2/3 or 24 out of the 36 of them have to concur. Out of the 36 states, 27 Houses of Assembly, Abia, Adamawa, Oka, Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Bauchi, Bayelsa, Benue, Borno, Cross River, Delta, Ebonyi, Edo, Ekiti, Enugu, Imo, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kogi, Lagos, Nasarawa, Niger, Ogun, Ondo, Osun Rivers, and Yobe forwarded their resolutions on the bills. The House had argued Houses of Assembly in Gombe, Jigawa, Kebbi, Kwara, Oyo, Plateau, Sokoto, Taraba, and Zamfara states that are yet to forward their resolution on the bills to do so in fulfillment of their constitutionally imposed legislative obligation to the Constitution amendment process. On Friday, however, a statement from the Deputy Speaker's office quoted Wasi as commending the President for assenting to some momentous legislations. Still on the news, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State has lauded the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and the security agencies for ensuring a smooth and peaceful electioneering process in the state. Okowa made the remarks while speaking after casting his vote on Saturday during the governorship and House of Assembly elections at Egoma Primary School, Ward 2, Unit 17, Owa Alero, Ikan North East local government area. The governor, who voted about 10 o'clock a.m., acknowledged that the bimodal voters accreditation system, BVOS, worked well and the process was smooth. I just cast my vote and everything is working smoothly and the capture was quickly done. The process here is seamless and everything working perfectly. To go beyond this, I have been talking to the security agencies. There are restrictions in terms of security, but I think things are being sorted out, he said. We also got information that certain persons are trying to impersonate the military and the police, and I think the security agencies are on top of it. But beyond that, the reports we are getting everywhere appear to be peaceful, and we want to thank the security agencies for the security architecture they put in place. On the turnout, Okowa said that it was still early to rate the outcome of voters as poor. Speaking on the February 25th presidential and National Assembly elections, the governor said INEC's failure to keep to their promise of transmitting the elections results from the polling units to the servers was the major challenge. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, says its operatives monitoring the presidential and National Assembly polls have arrested some suspects engaged in vote buying in Benue State. The EFCC, in a statement, said it arrested a lecturer with the Suwan Tarka University, formerly known as the University of Agriculture, Makurdi, Benue State, with a sum of 306,700 naira in various denominations stashed in his car. Operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, monitored the presidential and National Assembly polls, made some arrests of suspected vote buyers. One, Dr. Cletus Tioka, and lecturer with the Suwan Tarka University, formerly known as the University of Agriculture in Benue State, was arrested at the RCM polling unit in Daudu, Guma local government area of the state with a sum of 306,700 naira in various denominations stashed in his car. Luck ran out on the suspects when he drove to the voting center, which was different from his polling unit, and tried to run upon citing operatives of the commission. When asked about his mission at the center, Dr. Tioka could not provide a coherent explanation, leading to arrest, and the search of his car revealed the money in various denominations. He was released after volunteering a statement to the commission. The EFCC also arrested a man for alleged vote buying with 194,000 naira at Gidan Zaka polling unit, Goron Dutse area of Kano Municipal Local Government of Kano State. A party agent buying votes through bank transfers was also arrested in Abaji, the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, while two persons, Stanley Nsemo and Eno Amapsu Ponsa, were arrested in Calabar. Cross River State with a sum of $450 and $156,800 on suspicion of alleged votes buying. Earlier in the day, a woman with 18 voter cards was intercepted in a sting operation at Badarwa area of Kaduna State. The woman, one Mariam Mamman Al-Haji, who is a member of the support group of one of the leading political parties, also had in her possession a 17-page list containing names of eligible voters, their bank details, and phone numbers as accredited on the Badarwa/Malali Ward 01 and 08, Kaduna North Local Government Area of Kaduna State. She was arrested after undercover operatives pretended they had voter cards and were desperate to sell them. She is currently being questioned by operatives of the Kaduna Zonal Command of the EFCC with a view to reveal all the members of her syndicates whom she claims are also collecting voters' cards and paying monies through POS or direct bank transfers. A recap of major stories: 2023 elections, polling units results of governorship, assembly polls. Lagos INEC shifts elections in 10 polling units. On governorship election, Lawan votes both APC will win 28 states. Federal government reduces weight as Buhari agrees to power devolution bills. Okowa hails INEC security forces for more peaceful atmosphere. And on vote buying, EFCC naps university lecturer with 306,700 naira. This is all for the news at this hour. Continue with the remaining of our discourse.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Rise, fly, grow. Bigger than we used to be, because we are Nigerians. Fly, rise, roll. Stronger than our problems, because we are Nigerians. If you be Nigerian, stand up taller. If you're black and proud, fist in the air now. No lies, we all know the history, and it's a miracle that we're still here, yeah, yeah. If you're hopeful for Nigeria, stand up tall, stand up tall. You're stronger than you take credit for. Oh my Niger, yeah. In your eyes, I can see the sun. Beautiful Niger. Your scars couldn't hold you down. They're just gemstones on your crown. Yeah. You're strong and none can deny. We know where you're coming from. Oh my Niger, beautiful Niger. You go better if we work together. Oh my Niger, beautiful Niger. If we learn from our old mistakes, oh my Niger, beautiful Niger. When we fall, make we rise up again, oh my Niger, beautiful Niger, beautiful Niger, we will rise. problems, cause we are Nigerians. Rise, fly, grow. Oh yeah.